SmartHub has two categories of tools under the usage heading: tools that allow you to see your actual usage data, and consumer analytics tools that use machine learning to give you insight into how your energy was used. In this video, we will look at the consumer analytics tools. SmartHub's consumer analytics tools examine your meter data and identify usage signatures that are specific to different kinds of appliances. Then it can tell you how much energy went to different categories like cooling, cooking, heating, laundry, lighting, entertainment, refrigeration, and always on. Most of these are self-explanatory, but the always on category is a little different. Always on refers to devices that are in standby or sleep mode, as well as things like routers, cable boxes, chargers, thermostats, and security systems that are always running. Before we dive into our consumer analytics tools, a word of caution. The insights provided are ultimately educated guesses. We highly recommend that anyone interested in using these tools first take a few minutes to complete the Build Your Home Profile questionnaire. SmartHub can give you much more accurate insights about your usage if it knows more about your home. Another note, whenever the consumer analytics tools display dollar amounts, these amounts only reflect the energy charge or price per kilowatt hour. Other elements that affect your final bill, including the peak charge, service availability charge, and power cost adjustment, are not included. With that said, let's start by looking at the bill analysis tool. This screen compares your most recent bill against a prior bill and attempts to explain any significant differences. By default, this tool will compare your most recent bill against the month prior. In this example, we can see that there wasn't much difference between the current bill and the previous month's bill, so the tool doesn't have any insights for us. But if we click the drop-down menu and choose another bill, maybe one from the summer, we can see some bigger differences. Let's compare the current bill for January against the bill for last June. Now we can see that the current bill is 35% lower, and the bill analysis screen gives some reasons why. The big difference here was the reduction in cooling costs, which was offset somewhat by increases in usage related to water heating, lighting, and entertainment. All of these make sense for a colder month. If you want to go deeper, you can click the More Details bar at the bottom and compare daily consumption amounts, average temperatures, number of days in the billing cycle, and more. Next, we'll look at the Energy Detail screen. The default view is a bar graph covering the last 12 months. Each bar represents 1 month of usage, and the colors within each bar represent a different type of usage: blue for cooling, green for laundry, yellow for lighting, and so on. Looking at the summer months, we can see very easily that cooling made up a large portion of the usage. You can hover over any bar to display a list of energy charges broken down by category. Something else that's very useful is the ability to filter by category. Just click a category from the row of options above the graph, and you can focus in, getting a good idea of how big an impact that category typically has on your bill. Lastly, you can click the Filter button at the upper right of the graph to switch from a bar graph to a stacked graph that can make it easier to see how usage per category has changed over time. My Recommendations gives you personalized energy efficiency tips. The tips shown up top are based on your actual energy usage. We can see here that SmartHub thinks we might be able to save money by making some adjustments to how we do laundry. If you click the More Recommendations bar below, you can browse SmartHub's entire library of energy efficiency tips. Finally, the Similar Home Comparison screen tells you how the usage at your home stacks up against usage from other homes of similar size and location. The blue line shows your home, the green line shows average homes, and the purple line shows highly efficient homes. The bar above the graph allows you to drill down into specific categories. If you want to know more about how SmartHub is making its calculations, you can click What is your comparison based on down below to see the factors it considered when making these comparisons. Again, we highly recommend completing the Build Your Home Profile section to increase the accuracy of your comparisons. That's it for the tools available in the Usage section of SmartHub. Use these in conjunction with the usage overview on the home screen to get a good idea of how your energy dollars are being spent.